my loves. Righty ho, this is my last Halloween design of the year. This is what we're going to be doing. This is my sugar skull and some 3D flowers and some bling. So I'm just going to run through what I'm using. First, I'm going to be using the white pudding gel. This is from Madame Glam. The pudding gels are, well, they're consistency of pudding. If you can see, they're thicker, but you don't put them on thicker than gel polish. If anything, I tend to work a bit thinner with them. But they're very smooth, very rich, like a creamy pudding, as you can see. But I'm not going to work super thick with it. I'm going to build it up. So I would tend to do 3 layers of this to build up the opacity I want. But it's just a different consistency. It's almost like a cream, like, yeah, just different. So this is obviously the white. I'm going to go in and they're 60-second cure as well. So I'm just smoothing it out because unlike gel polish, it doesn't. This doesn't self-level. You kind of need to smooth it out and get that really rich texture in there. Once I'm happy with that, it's into the lamp, and then on the I only did 2 layers. On the second coat, I'm going to use this Avatar Glow pigment from Glitter Planet. So I'm just getting prepped for that. So I'll apply the second layer of the pudding gel. And then what I'll do is, before I cure it, I'm going to sprinkle some of this pigment over. I've just sped up this bit because obviously you know how to apply gel to a nail. Well, I hope you do anyway. There we go. Sprinkle the pigment on the nail before curing. Give it a couple of seconds to start sort of soaking in. Tap it around a little bit. So you want to make sure you get the edges. If it's a curved nail, you might need to do what I'm doing here, which is just tilt over and just sprinkle it around the edges just to make sure. Nice and easy. There we go. Tap a bit off and then pop it in the lamp. I do a double cure when it's like this. So that'll be 120 seconds. Get the rest of the residue of that powder. Now, you'll find these thin powders stick to trays and stuff. So I use my unicorn dusty brush. This is Ollie, named after Oliver, obviously. You can get it on my website. And they're really good at getting in the nooks and crannies and attracting those little dusty pieces. So we don't waste anything. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush. I just wanted to show you, if you're new to using like gel brushes, always pull away from the bristles with a little bit of a cloth with, as you can see, it's not glowing yet, with isopropyl alcohol on. And then I'm going to get Ollie in again to get any residue. And we're going to go on top with a base coat and then a top coat. And the reason for that is I want to seal in this glow powder, but I want to do some freehand art on top. So we want to seal all of this in. Don't want to lose that glowing pigment, but also don't want to have to work on top of like a sandy surface, because that's not very easy to paint on. So there was a bit that, you know, when you get a bit in your gel polish, oh, isn't it annoying? So there we go, into the lamp. That's going to have a 30-second cure. And then I'm going in with Velvet Matte top coat. And the reason I'm using matte is because it's much, I had a little bit there. It's much easier to paint over. You can use a gloss top coat if you want to buff it off after, but I couldn't be bothered to buff it, so I just went in for the matte top coat and it worked fine. If you've got a nice even nail, you'll be all right. There we go, into the lamp. Beautiful. Now I'm going to use Madame Glam's black gel paints and their detail liner brush, which you can see here is nice and thin. I get a lot of questions about this brush. I have got a discount code, which I'll put in the description box for you. It's CeraB30, but I'll put it in the description box anyway with a link that you can use. There we go. I'm just going to get some of that nice gel paint, and I'm going to do like the outline of a skull. So I'm going to draw the outline with the black, and then I'm going to paint the black edge, you know, around it, so that what you're left with is the skull shape in the middle. That's the idea anyway. I find it easier to turn the nail when I'm doing it on practice tips. It's just a cheat really, because it's not that easy on a real person, but I'm cheating because I'm on a practice tip, so don't judge, don't hate me. Okie dokie. Right, you know how to colour in a nail. Basically, all around the edge of the bit I've just marked out, I'm just colouring in black, and that'll be that. And then once that's all coloured in black, you need to give this a 60-second cure. And then I'm going to go in with a dotting tool. I was going to use that size, but I decided to use a slightly bigger size. To do the eyes, just grab a dotting tool. I'm just quickly going to base coat this nail. Now, if you watch, it actually smudged a bit of the residue from the black. And I was like, oh no! But I dealt with it, and I'll show you how. So instead of like pretending it didn't happen, I scooped it off, cleaned my brush, scooped it off again, made sure all that residue was gone, and then carried on with the base coat. And that was that. And then I put that in to my LED lamp for a 30-second cure. Then I'm going to wipe off the inhibition layer with a lint-free wipe and some isopropyl alcohol, or you can use a prep spray or gel residue wipe-off solution, anything like that. And we're ready to paint. So, dotting tool for the eyes, really, really easy. That needs to go back in the lamp for a cure. Then I'm going to grab the pink gel paint, and we're going to do some smaller dots around the eyes and cover them in the pink glow-in-the-dark pigment from Smiley's Glitter Store. So smaller end of the dotting tool, and we're just doing some dots going all around the eyes. Anything with a dotting tool is really simple but really effective. You know what you need in one thing I've had with me since the very first day is dotting tools. And they were the one thing I thought I'd never use, and yet I always use them. There we go. So before I cure it, I'm going to sprinkle the pigment on, just like I did with the other pigment. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Let it set in for a second or two. And then remove the excess just by tapping, pop it in the lamp. And then we'll clean that up. Don't want to waste anything. There we are. I'll get my brush in there. Clean it all up. And then that nail should be cured. It'll have a 60-second cure. Brush off the excess off there. Lovely. Right. Next we're going to do the nose. 2 dots for the nose, right? I always turn it upside down. I find it easier working on my right hand side. And then you're going to join those dots. It's an upside down love heart. That's what it is. It's an upside down love heart. Just quite a long love heart. But once you see it, you'll know, and it's really easy. So you've got dots for the eyes, a love heart for the nose. It sort of simplifies it a little bit when you see it like that. There we go. That needs to go in for a 60-second cure. And then we're going to do the mouth. So I'm going to start with the centre because I find that easier to line it up, and then work my way up to the edges where the jaw would sort of be. I expect this is definitely not anatomically correct, but this is my little sugar skull. There we are. We're going to join up there at the corners. Just colour that in. And then we'll add the teeth. Nice and simple. And that again will need a 60-second cure. Okay, so next I'm going to start doing some artwork on the face. So I'm doing these little vines coming down, and whatever I do on one side I do on the other, just to try and make it even. There we are, and we do the same at the top as well, just above the eyes. Don't worry about that little bit of pink pigment that's stuck on the black of the eyes, that will come off in a bit. So if you want to fully cure this, it's a 60-second cure. If you just want to quickly freeze cure it, then just do 30. Okay, so I've got this beautiful green gel paint from Madame Glam, and we're going to do, on those black lines that I've just done, we're going to do some little leaves, just tiny little leaves. I'll show you this side, this one, And then I do that on all of those lines, so all 4 of them have the same thing, and it's just tiny little leaves, just like vines around it. Very simple. There we are, nice and easy. Same on all of them. And then we'll cure it for 60 seconds. Then we're going to grab the purple gel paint, and I'm just going to do some like pretty little art on there. So a couple of little swirly lines at the top. All you do is put more pressure at the top and then reduce the pressure as you come down to the point, and it'll give that nice effect. And I'm just going to curl it around either side. Then I did some little dotting marks around the cheeks. Again, whatever I do on one side, I want to do on the other. So I'm trying my best to make it even. Pop that in for a quick 60-second cure, and then in with some green dots as well. There we go. I'll turn that over to get the other side because I just find it easier to judge it that way. Back in for a cure. Now these are the lint-free wipes I've just bought. Remember I was moaning about mine? Well, I got these ones off Amazon. They are lint-free wipes. They are amazing. And they were cheaper than the ones I was getting before. If I can find, I took them out of the bag. If I can find the label or try and get hold of the thing, I'll put it in the description box, but they'll probably come up on a search. Okay, so any dust or any residue has been removed. And I'm going to go in with the base coat first, because obviously we've done freehand, it's going to be a bit lumpy bumpy, and I want the end result to be smooth. So I'm going to gather the base coat a little bit more in the middle, flip the nail over for about 3 or 4 seconds, and it will give it a chance to kind of sit above those lines. A 30-second cure, then in with the no wipe top coat and do the same. Thicker in the centre, not like mega thick, but thicker than normal in the centre, and then bring it in around the edges. And what that does is cover the main area of artwork in the middle of the nail. Tip it upside down again, just give it a couple of seconds upside down, and then you'll see a big difference. And I will show you the glow in the dark effect when it comes out of the lamp. So 30-second cure. I've turned my lights off. This is amazing. I'm so happy with this. Look at his face. Look how cool it looks. Epic, right? Let's get on with the rest of the nails then. So I'm going to be using the black pudding gel. You can see the consistency, it's super thick. And I'm going to paint the next 2 nails with the black pudding gel. So I'll let you watch this little bit here. Once those 3 layers have cured, so 3 thin layers, once they've cured, I'm going to base coat and then top coat. So base coat, 30-second cure, then top coat, no wipe top coat, and again another 30-second cure. Then I'm going to buff them with my 180 grit buffer and apply some of these stunning Alina crystals. These are the Alina Kaleidoscope. I just felt like they were the best representation for this. They've got a bit of darkness to them, but they've also got all these multi-dimensional colours. They're super, super gorgeous. Oh, and I also added amethyst jewel as well. And I forgot to film putting the crystals on. which is really annoying. So you don't get to see it, and I'm gutted, but I will show you the final result. So I used an amethyst jewel in the middle. Oh, I'll show you those in a second, actually. There we go, it's just me getting the dust off. There's the amethyst jewel. They're beautiful. They're amethyst and amber, hence the name amethyst. And some of the caviar beads. Rubbing my hands together, ooh, bling time. This is what I created. Really, really simple, but really effective. And I'm sorry I forgot to film it, but I've got a million videos applying crystals. Onto the 3D. This is, I want to say Bunny Boiler or something like that from Nailmate. I'll put it in the description box anyway. It's a beautiful, bright pink. It's stunning. And I've added a little bit of acetone to my monomer, which helps the 3D set up a little bit faster. And then as soon as it starts to mattify, I'm going to press that bead out. There we are. And the thing is, once it's mattifying, you actually get little bristle marks from the brushes in there. And I feel like it makes it look really realistic. So again, wait for that bead to start to mattify. Turn your brush on its side, and you kind of slice into the bead and separate it in 2 halves. This was a bit sticky, this one, it wasn't quite ready. And you're kind of doing it like a C shape or a croissant. And then you'll turn your brush and you'll press that bead out. Pressing the bead out. So I'm going to repeat this, working my way inwards to the centre of the flower. Then I took I want to say it's like autumn pumpkin or pumpkin shimmer or something. I can't remember the names and they're not in front of me, but I will put them in the description box. And I did the same with that basically and built a flower up in the corner. Once that was done, I grabbed Grape Pop. Grape Pop does marble, but it actually looks all right on 3D. And you can stop it marbling by rubbing it in, but it was quite handy for 3D. And I just built another flower down the bottom. I then went in with a green shade, and it's either Toxic Apple or something. I'll put it in the description box. It does marble a bit, but it was fine. And just did a couple of leaves, one at the bottom and one at the top. It's so bright, it keeps distorting the camera. It's hilarious. Where it's so neon-y, keeps throwing the lens. The camera's like, I don't know what to do. There we go. Sorry this video's been late, by the way. I just, had a lot going on. There we are. Just pushing some little indentations into the leaves. And then do the same at the top. There was a bit of pigment there, just like sat there, so I mixed it in. But it gave quite a good effect anyway. And I'm just pushing in again, doing little petally bits to it. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to put it to the side for a couple of minutes, let it set up before I fiddle with it. And we are going in with more bling. You know, it makes sense. So I'm using the SS3 AB crystals here from my website. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of top coat in there. And then pop a crystal. It's as simple as that. Really, really simple, but I just love the effect. I mean, Oliver was learning about the celebration of the Day of the Dead and all these sorts of things in Mexico, and offerings and things. And I was just thinking to myself, like, for me, you'd have to bring bling and flowers. And that's why I came up with the bling nail and the flower nail to go with my sugar skull. Because I was like, that's what you need to bring me. Bling and flowers. Thank you very much. And then we're just going to do the same on the little other flower at the top. Super easy. And then give them a cure. And once that was done, that was it. And I really, really hope you've enjoyed this set. Let me know if you recreate it. All the links to products will be in the description box. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It's completely free. And I try to upload 3 times a week and pop random things in my stories. Anyway, I really, really hope you've liked this, and I'll see you in my next one. Tally bye!